Hello, hello, hello. Good Monday evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett, getting things ready for what's going to be an active weather day across much of Middle Georgia for tomorrow. Tonight, we're starting to see rain increase, and I'm going to break down this entire forecast for you as we get going. Now, I know a lot of school systems are out tomorrow, and not a lot of kids are happy about that, but again, this is just the seriousness of the situation. Again, we are watching the radar. Rain starting to move into Middle Georgia. This is just plain old rain. It's a cold rain. You're outside right now, you're thinking, there's no way we're going to have severe weather tomorrow because it's so cold, but the atmosphere will change rapidly tonight because we are going to have a warm front lifting north. But it's a wet go of it across much of Middle Georgia right now. And again, this is just plain old rain, not getting any lightning right now. But over the next few hours, we could certainly see a few thunderstorms roll into Middle Georgia. We're seeing thunderstorms across southwest Alabama. Those will be working their way up towards our direction. Also watching storms down near Panama City as well as Apalachicola. Those will be working up. We could be dealing with some thunderstorms overnight, but the main severe weather threat remains to our west and will not arrive in Middle Georgia until early tomorrow morning. So rest easy tonight. We could have a isolated severe thunderstorm warning, but that would be for a hail threat. The tornado threat and damaging wind threat will come tomorrow, and that's what we're going to be watching. Again, a reminder, all of Middle Georgia under the threat for severe weather tomorrow. We have a level 3 essentially from Macon to Roberta to Butler, off towards the south and east. A level 2 for Macon and Macon up towards Forsyth and Monticello, and then even up towards the Atlanta metro, a level 1 risk. Don't focus so much on the colors. The better dynamics for severe weather will be to the south, but all of Middle Georgia will likely be dealing with the threat for strong to severe storms. So it's a level 3 out of 5 levels we were looking, and we haven't had a level 3 since back in September or October for most of Middle Georgia. So getting things wound up. Been relatively quiet as of late as far as the severe weather threat, but that is about to change. And again, I'm going to be checking comments on Facebook and social media as this goes on. And of course, I'll try to answer those the best we can. But tomorrow, definitely going to be one of those days you're going to want to stay weather aware and prepared as we get things going across most of Middle Georgia. And again, it's starting right now. The rain is moving in, but again, no threat for severe weather as we look across much of Middle Georgia as we speak. And again, just checking things out. So that's why tomorrow, level 3 threat, we're going with a weather warn day. We don't use these all the time, just when it's going to be a high impact event. So Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. Severe storms are likely. Damaging winds over 60 miles per hour. Some tornadoes are certainly possible, and we're going to all be dealing with heavy rainfall and the threat for flash flooding. And of course, if you don't have our SKYWATCH weather app, you can get out your phone right now, scan that QR code, and download it for free. It has those great push notifications. Will alert you when your exact location receives a watch or a warning. And I'll go ahead and tell you, we're going to get watches and we're going to get warnings as we head through the day tomorrow. If you don't get it right now, I'll be showing you this at the end of this weather briefing. Again, what we're going to be talking about, very gusty winds. This is kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch for many of us across Middle Georgia. We have a wind advisory in effect. That's in effect right now. We'll continue through the day tomorrow. Winds tonight are going to steadily increase. Not related to thunderstorms. These are pressure gradient winds. This has nothing to do with the thunderstorms. They will gust 40 to 50 outside of the thunderstorms. This alone can cause trees to come down, can produce power outages. So that's why we're trying to get everybody prepared, because by first thing tomorrow morning, before the storms even arrive, It's going to be howling winds out of the southeast. Damaging winds, 60 miles per hour, and tornadoes. That's going to be the severe weather threat. And then we get to the heavy rainfall and flash flooding, and the rainfall is already starting to move in. So that is what we're looking at as we head through really the next 12 to 24 hours. All of middle Georgia under a wind advisory. And again, some locations in North Georgia under a high wind warning where winds could gust over 60 miles per hour. And again, these are not thunderstorm winds. This is just the pressure gradient winds as the storm system continues to get wound up off towards our west and really begins to intensify. So very gusty winds will continue to increase as we head through the overnight hours and first thing tomorrow morning. Here's forecast wind gusts. Again, after midnight, we're really going to start to see those winds pick up. They're going to be sustained anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour, but then gusting even higher as that front approaches. 5 o'clock in the morning, gusting 30, 35 miles per hour for many locations. And as we head through the morning hours, the winds will continue to increase. And again, these are not related to the thunderstorms. When you get wind gusts over 40 miles per hour, that's essentially a tropical storm. That's what we're going to be dealing with, tropical storm, force winds across middle Georgia through the morning hours. Again, not related to the thunderstorms. And they'll continue to increase. It's going to be a very blustery day tomorrow, howling southeasterly winds, and that's going to be causing issues, tree and power issues on their own. Then, as we head through the midday hours, the front pushes through, and as tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, our winds are still going to be very brisk, but they will not be as bad as what we're dealing with tomorrow morning. Now, let's get on to the radar. Rain, it's moving in right now across much of middle Georgia. Excuse me. It'll continue to increase in coverage, and again, it could be heavy at times tonight. We may get some rumbles of thunder mixed in. We can't rule out an isolated severe thunderstorm warning tonight, but it's going to be strictly for hail tonight because this is associated with the warm front that's lifting north. Our temperatures are only going to increase as we head throughout the overnight hours. I know a lot of times temperatures decrease overnight. That will not be the case tonight because of the storm system. A warm front will be lifting north. Pre-dawn hours, still dealing with areas of rain, maybe a thunderstorm here or there, but then we're going to be watching things off towards our west. Severe storms likely across Alabama during the pre-dawn hours, where some large tornadoes or strong tornadoes are certainly possible. And when we say strong tornadoes, that's those long track tornadoes, those EF2 plus or greater tornadoes that we can see. And we may even see some of those down across southwest Georgia tomorrow morning. I don't think we'll have to deal with those here in middle Georgia, but it only takes one storm to make this a very bad day. Okay, here's 5 a.m., and the models are looking pretty good. They're all lining up with this pretty good timing. 7 a.m., I think we'll already have likely a tornado watch in place across much of middle Georgia. As I said, we're going to get watches. We're going to get warnings tomorrow. Go ahead and prepare for that. But here comes that line of strong to severe storms. 8 a.m., maybe working from Butts County through Monroe, Lamar County, over towards Upson County, Taylor County, down towards Sly and Sumter County, approaching Crawford County. 8, 9 o'clock, coming through the heart of the viewing area. We're talking from Jones and Putnam County, Jasper and Putnam County, down through Jones County, Baldwin County, getting into Bibb County. It's going to be a rough go of it along the interstates tomorrow morning, and that stretches right down 75 towards Warner Robins, Perry, Vienna, and Cordele. And again, within this line of storms, this is where we could easily see those wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. That will produce tree and power issues. But also, within the storm, with the amount of shear we have with this storm system, there's likely going to be spin, and that means tornadoes, and that's what we're going to be watching. We could have these embedded tornadoes within this line. Now, the only good news I have for this is, if you notice, this is a line of storms. A line of storms usually doesn't produce those large tornadoes. You have to watch for those supercells out ahead of this main line. That's what they're going to be dealing with in Alabama later tonight. But in middle Georgia, I think all the thunderstorms come into a line, and this is what we call a QLCS, which is a quasi-linear convective system. That usually mitigates how much tornadic activity you see. Doesn't mean we won't see tornadoes, and we can still have some strong tornadoes within this line, but A line of storms is much better to deal with than those individual supercells, which are more common in the springtime across middle Georgia. So 9 a.m. coming through middle Georgia. 10 a.m. getting over towards Wilkinson County as well as Washington County, stretching down towards Bleckley County and heading over towards Lawrence County. 11 a.m. things continue to push off towards the south and east. And notice by noon, the line of severe storms will be out of here. And as soon as that line passes your location, severe weather threat is over. Still, we'll be dealing with rain lunchtime around Macon, back across middle Georgia. But behind the front, you're also going to notice those temperatures will start to drop. Temperatures will fall throughout the day tomorrow after they climb all night tonight. And by tomorrow afternoon, I fully expect us to have some peaks of sunshine back across middle Georgia. That clearing sky will allow for some cold temperatures. So that is what we're expecting as far as the overall timing. Again, we've updated this a little bit. Looks like it's going to be 7 a.m. to noon. I had 2 p.m. earlier, but it looks like it's going to come through a little faster and get out of here a little faster. So that's what we're going with, that 7 a.m. to noon time frame tomorrow morning. Tornadoes, we're going to have the threat for those. Wind's going to be the main concern. Damaging wind gusts, again, over 60 miles per hour, but also those pressure gradient winds, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Not too much of a hail threat with this system. Sure, we could have some reports of hail, but I really think this is mainly going to be a wind and tornado threat, and of course, a flooding threat. We're going to have to watch things very carefully. Most of middle Georgia had around an inch and a half of rain over this weekend. We're going to add on to that quite a bit. Here's potential rainfall tonight through early Tuesday. 2 to 3 inches. We're going to be dealing with these downpours. A lot of moisture surging north out of the Gulf of Mexico. That provides fuel for showers and storms, but it will also pile up the rain across much of middle Georgia. So again, on average, 2 to 3 inches for much of middle and middle north central Georgia, and then slightly lighter amounts as you head maybe down towards Telfair County, Montgomery County, and Wheeler County. And again, this is just potential. Some spots will not see this much rain. Other spots could see some isolated higher amounts, maybe 4 to 5 inches. And that's what we're going to be concerned with as far as the overall flood threat. We do have a flood watch in effect for Upson County, as well as Lamar, Monroe, Butts County, then over towards Jasper and Putnam County, and off towards the Atlanta Metro. That's where the heaviest rain looks like it will be. But just because you're not in a watch doesn't mean you can't deal with flash flooding. Do remember that. We're going to be dealing with a lot of rain. Rain's already moving into middle Georgia as we speak. And again, we could certainly see this expanded by the National Weather Service as we head through the overnight hours and into the day tomorrow. So we always say, if you encounter flooded roads, turn around, don't drown. It is that simple. So here's the forecast for tonight. Rain's going to be increasing. I really think we're going to start to see some rumbles of thunder, maybe some lightning, mainly after midnight. But tomorrow's when we're going to be talking about those windy, wet conditions. Temperatures will surge into the mid-60s. We're going to be dealing with heavy rainfall and that threat for severe storms across much of middle Georgia. And again, that's why we have that weather warn day for tomorrow. Keep that in mind. Maybe you know people that don't pay that much attention to the weather. Make sure they're paying attention to the weather tomorrow, especially during the morning hours, as we're going to be dealing with active weather. Behind the system, we're much colder. We struggle to reach the 50s on Wednesday. Thursday will be a little bit warmer, but I will point out that on Friday, we're likely going to have another storm system that will bring the threat of strong to severe storms back to middle Georgia. So do keep that in mind. This is not the only system we got to deal with this week. We got another one Friday, and then it'll set the stage for some colder weather this weekend. And we may have another system early next week we'll have to keep an eye on. But we're really focusing on the Tuesday event. And again, that's what we've been talking about. The weather warn day for tomorrow. This is our first weather warn day of 2024, as we're going to be dealing with severe storms likely across most of middle Georgia. And you know how it is. We'll all be dealing with severe storms, but what are the odds of a tornado hitting your location or your location receiving damage? It's very small, but if it happens to you, it's a big deal, and it's going to be making for a bad day. Some tornadoes are certainly possible, especially tomorrow morning in southwest Georgia, and especially in our southern counties. And then tomorrow afternoon, if you're heading over towards Savannah or the Carolinas, that severe weather threat will ramp up over there. Heavy rainfall and flooding, that is what we're going to be watching for. And again, we are watching things carefully. We'll be making frequent posts throughout the day. Of course, Gary Thickpen and meteorologist Ryan Miranda will be in tomorrow morning to help you cover and keep you covered. We'll have all the latest updates as we roll through the overnight hours. And again, you can simply scan the QR code on your screen. That'll get you to the SKYWATCH weather app. And again, it has those great push notifications that will keep you informed and up to date on this upcoming threat for severe weather and any future severe weather threats that we may have. And again, those specified alerts, you can choose which alerts you want to see and receive as this event continues to increase. So again, that's what we're watching. Going to be an active weather day for many of us. Now, I'll bring up the radar once again, just showing you that rain, it's in middle Georgia. It'll continue to fall as we roll through the overnight hours for many locations. And now what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to look at social media, see if I can answer any questions that a lot of people may be having, as a lot of people are sharing this. That's what we want to know. So again, you're stepping outside today. It's been a relatively cold winter's day across middle Georgia, but the atmosphere is going to rapidly change overnight. And I said we may start to get a little bit of lightning mixing in. Looks like Talbot County starting to get a little bit of lightning showing up. And again, these are elevated thunderstorms. This is not what we look for when we're talking about severe weather. This is out ahead of the warm front. The surface-based instability, which is that fuel that's coming off the Gulf of Mexico, that remains well to our south. So we're not worried about severe weather tonight as far as the tornado and wind threat. But again, rain will continue to increase over the next couple of hours across much of middle Georgia. And that's where we're seeing the rainfall. And again, looking back towards the west, that's a mess coming our way. We do have tornado watches in effect for South Mississippi and South Louisiana. Likely going to see those extended eastward as we head through the overnight hours. And again, rain, rain, rain. A lot of times you say rain will stabilize the atmosphere. But again, this is a different system because a warm front lifting north will bring in that warm surge of moist air that these showers and storms need. And you're really starting to see that across southwest Alabama where those lightning bolts, that's increasing in coverage. So that is what we're going to continue to watch. Things will be changing rapidly. And I'm telling you, the winds are going to be the main concern. Tonight, you're going to likely start hearing those winds howl out of the east-southeast, 20, 30 miles per hour, gusting to 40 or 50. And that's what we're going to be dealing with a lot of these storms coming through. So looking through some of the comments on social media, Butts County, again, we're watching. It's just rain right now. It's going to be rain, maybe a little bit of thunder overnight. Tonight, not too much weather aware. I'm looking at you, Athena. Tonight's really not a main concern. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to say around 7 a.m., really start paying attention to the weather as that line of storms come through. Could we have some stronger to severe storms tonight? Absolutely. But again, they will be elevated thunderstorms, which means the main concern would be some small hail with those storms as they develop. Sure, we'll be dealing with heavy rainfall and lightning, but that main wind and tornado threat comes into play tomorrow. And before the line of storms reaches middle Georgia, I'll go ahead and tell you, there'll be a tornado watch issued. So you'll get the alerts on your phone or your NOAA weather radio or whatever device you have to keep you informed and up to date. You'll get that. So again, just looking at things, what's going on, people are commenting. A lot of schools, that's another thing. A lot of schools are being canceled for tomorrow. A lot of kids will be staying home tomorrow. We have the full list of those on WGXA.TV, our website. You can check it out. I know many school systems are closing for tomorrow. I'll see if I can pull up the list real quick. I know we have it on our website, but that's a great question. A lot of schools are out tomorrow because of this severe weather threat, but also a lot of schools will be virtual tomorrow. So just because you get a weather day doesn't mean you don't have to go to school. So looking at the WGXA.TV website, currently, here's the list of schools. I'll go through most of them. Baldwin County, virtual learning, after-school activities are canceled for tomorrow. Cirrus Academy, it's going to be asynchronous learning Tuesday. Crisp County, Dodge County, Dooley County, all schools are closed for Tuesday, and that does include some after-school activities. Then we get into First Presbyterian Day School. That's here in Macon. You are closed for tomorrow. Hancock County, Jasper County, Johnson County, Macon County. You're either, well, let me try that again. Hancock County and Jasper County, all schools are closed tomorrow. Keep that in mind. John Hancock Academy is closed tomorrow. Johnson County, Macon County will have virtual learning on Tuesday. So even though you're not heading to school, classes will still be in session. The Montessori of Macon closed for Tuesday. Montgomery County schools are closed for Tuesday. Oconee Fall Line Technical College is closed on Tuesday. Putnam County schools are closed to students, but faculty and staff still need to report to their schools. Stratford Academy will be closed tomorrow. St. Andrews Montessori School is closed tomorrow. Sumter County Schools, Telfair County Schools, as well as the Thompson, Upson County, and Trutland County schools will all be closed tomorrow, again, for this threat for severe weather. Looking at Twiggs County, it's asynchronous learning. Students and staff will work virtually on Tuesday. Washington County, virtual learning. Then we get Wheeler, Wilcox, and Wilkinson, or should I say Wheeler and Wilcox will be closed tomorrow. And then Wilkinson, all schools shift to asynchronous or virtual learning for Tuesday. As of right now, it's 8:50. Bibb County and Houston County schools have not made a decision on whether schools will be in session tomorrow. So they'll be letting you know, of course. But again, as soon as we hear anything, we will let you know. But again, you can find that full list of schools on WGXA.tv, and that will keep you informed and up to date. And again, going to be a fluid situation. So, yep, I see Vanessa. Houston County School District, don't know yet. We're still waiting to hear from them. Just looking at all the comments coming in. So there's a lot of them. Appreciate the comments. And again, we'll try to keep you informed and up to date on everything. We'll go to this. Checking social media, making sure anything or making sure nothing has changed with this event as it continues to get going. And again, severe weather threat is tomorrow morning, starting about 6 or 7. And I think that's when we'll start to see those watches and warnings issued. Looking at Latosha, okay, Bibb County Schools, no word yet from Bibb County Schools. Again, Bibb and Houston counties, which are our largest school systems in our viewing area, no official word on what they're doing tomorrow. They'll make that call later, and I'm sure they will let everybody know. I will show the radar again. So I'm just going through everything. What is the likelihood of a tornado? It's pretty good. I mean, there's going to be tornadoes in Georgia tomorrow. Will they be in middle Georgia? We'll just have to wait and see. But especially southwest Georgia. If you have family, friends, maybe from Albany down towards, say, Tifton and over to Alma, that's where they're going to be dealing with the greatest threat for tornadoes tomorrow, because they're going to have those individual supercells. Peach County, have not heard anything yet. And again, they are updating our website constantly, so go to WGXA.tv, and that'll keep you informed and up to date on the schools closing, because they're coming in constantly. So, and again, I'll just go through everything again here in just a minute, just to show you what all we are seeing as far as the overall impact. So keeping you informed, and y'all are commenting. Love the comments. And again, keep asking questions. We'll try to get you informed and up to date on everything. We don't know, this is what I always tell people, we don't know how bad this situation is going to be. Hopefully nothing happens. That's what we hope to miss. But this is a very dynamic storm system. We're going to be dealing with high winds, very gusty, very gusty winds, not related to thunderstorms, the threat for some damaging wind gusts with thunderstorms, the threat for tornadoes, and of course, don't forget lightning and heavy rainfall. And again, I'll go back and show, several of you are asking for, show me the radar again tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30. Well, let's do that. Again, just a reminder, we're all under the threat for severe weather as we head through the day tomorrow. A level 3 threat, but again, don't focus. If you're in Crawford County, well, I don't have to worry as much because I'm not in the level 3. I'm only in the level 2. Or if you're up in Butts County, I'm only in the level 1. I'm not worried about the level 3. Don't worry about it. We all have to stay weather aware because it's all included as far as all of Middle Georgia in the threat for severe weather. Here we go. Now I'm going to do the radar again. This is just model output of what the radar will look like. This is right now. Rain, it's continued to increase in coverage. I was showing you the radar a minute ago. And again, this is plain rain, maybe a little bit of lightning here and there, a rumble of thunder. Through the overnight hours, more rain will move in. I think by 11 or 12 o'clock, we're getting a steady rain as that warm front continues to lift north out of the Gulf of Mexico. Pre-dawn hours, it looks like we could just be dealing with scattered showers. And again, there could be a few embedded thunderstorms, but then we'll wait until about 5 o'clock. We'll be watching a line of storms approaching the state line. This is 5 a.m. in the morning when a lot of people are waking up. Meteorologist Gary Thigpen, of course, will be here in the morning letting you know what's going on. And then as we head through the morning hours, 7 o'clock, it looks like the strongest and most intense part of the line starts to make its way into Middle Georgia. As this occurs, we're likely going to be seeing a tornado watch or a watch of some sort issued. So you'll get the watch before the line of storms gets to your location. Then as we head through 8 o'clock, the line looks like it's pretty intense, stretching from Butts County, Monroe County, through portions of Lamar County, Upson County, Taylor County, get down into Sly, as well as Sumter County. And again, these are rough estimates. It could be a little bit faster, it could be a little bit slower, but this is just showing you what the model is indicating. And again, all the models are within an hour or two of each other. We get to 9 o'clock. This is when it's stretching from really portions of Jasper and Putnam counties down through Jones County, right through Macon-Bibb County, through Peach County, Houston County, right down towards Warner Robins, Perry, and straight down into excuse me, Dooley County as well as Crisp County. And again, within this line, this is where we could be dealing with those stronger thunderstorms that are going to be producing those 60-mile-per-hour winds or greater, or some isolated tornadoes within this line coming through. Then we fast forward to 10 a.m., continues to slide off towards the east. Still dealing with rain, but as soon as the line of storms passes your location or your county, the severe weather threat will be over for your location. Then, getting close to 11 a.m., stretching from Washington County down through Lawrence County, get back over towards Pulaski County and Dodge County, and then down towards Telfair County. And then finally, the storms look to push off towards the east. Notice this is noon. It's exiting our neck of the woods. Once you get past Montgomery and Wheeler County, as well as Treutlen County and Telfair County, that's outside our viewing area, and then it shifts down into the Savannah market. So Emmanuel County, out that way, Bullock County, that's where they're going to be dealing with that. But we're still going to be dealing with rain, and the temperatures will be falling. So there is the overall aspect of what we expect as far as the radar. And again, heavy rainfall will be a concern. Latest rainfall estimates, again, this is model output data. This is not what will happen, but this just gives you an idea. This can happen. 2 to 3 inches of rain for most of Middle Georgia. 1 to 2 inches as you head down towards the south. Some spots will see higher amounts. Other locations maybe will not see this much, but again, that's why it says potential rainfall, and that's why we do have that potential for some flash flooding, especially in our northern communities and up towards the Atlanta metro. If you got to go up 75 tomorrow, do keep that in mind. The urban sprawl of Atlanta, they're likely going to be dealing with some flash flooding issues. For us in Middle Georgia, we got Putnam County, Jasper County, Butts County, Monroe County, Lamar County, and Upson County that's currently under a flood watch for tomorrow. This could be expanded, so just do keep that in mind. Always say flooded roadways, turn around, don't drown, because you don't know how deep the water is, and it only takes about a foot to wash away a car. Again, that's why we have a weather warn day for tomorrow. Severe storms likely, damaging winds, some tornadoes possible. You can't pinpoint where a tornado is going to occur. Tornadoes are very, very small. Georgia is a very, very large state. The odds of your one location getting hit by a tornado is very small, but again, it only takes one storm to make this a bad day for us, so do keep that in mind. Again, if you know people that will be traveling tomorrow or maybe not paying attention to the weather tomorrow, just give them a heads up. Let them know that we're going to be dealing with the threat for strong storms. And like I said, this is going to be the first of many threats as we head into the spring severe weather season. I'm going to go back to social media, check out some more of these comments. A lot of people, it's going to rain, absolutely. Let's see, just looking at a few things. People talking about test the tornado sirens. That's another thing. I know a lot of people rely on those outdoor weather sirens to keep you alert to warnings. Do not rely on those. A lot of times you're going to be indoors, you can't hear those. You got to have multiple ways, multiple reliable ways to receive those severe weather alerts. Again, that's what we talk about, those NOAA weather radios, the SKYWATCH weather app. Again, it's free. You can set up which specific locations as well as which specific alerts you want to receive. And of course, most cell phones have wireless emergency alerts now that are part of your phone. So make sure you have those on. And again, have multiple ways to receive severe weather alerts. Don't think one way is better, because I tell you this, technology will always fail. So multiple ways to receive those severe weather alerts. Any chance for the road freezing? Not tonight. Temperatures are going to only increase tonight. We're in the low 50s right now. I think by midnight we'll likely be climbing into the mid to upper 50s, and temperatures will continue to climb all night tonight. So no threat for ice winter weather. This is a severe weather event, no winter weather issues. Colder weather, it will return tomorrow night, but I think with the howling winds that we're going to be dealing with, even behind this system, the roads will be dry before we even fall below freezing as we head into Wednesday morning. And again, that's what we're going to be dealing with. I'll show you the winds once again. This is a very, very dynamic storm system. This has a lot of energy with it, and this is what we call a classic mid-latitude cyclone. We got a low pressure back towards Amarillo and Oklahoma City. Plains into the Midwest, they're going to be dealing with blizzard conditions. Winter storm warnings stretch from Texas all the way up into the Great Lakes. That's on the cold side of the system. We're on the warm side of the system because we live in the South and we love the warmer weather, and that's what we're going to be dealing with. You see heavy rainfall starting to increase in coverage across Mississippi, getting into Alabama. And again, here is that line of storms, but throughout the night, as this warm air surges north out of the Gulf of Mexico, this is where we're going to start to see some of those stronger storms really work inland. Talking South Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, Southwest Georgia. And again, as this all comes off towards the east, it looks like it will form into a line, and that's what will be making its way through middle Georgia. I hope we don't have any severe weather across middle Georgia tomorrow. It's a headache, it's a hassle, it's a problem, it's very stressful because that's what we have to cover. But I think there's going to be some watches and warnings tomorrow, and that's why we're really focusing on this event as we head through the next 12 to 18 hours. By lunchtime tomorrow, this system is in and out of here. And again, I'm just showing you that QR code once again. If you want to scan your smartphone or use your smartphone to scan it, your iPad, whatever you have, your tablet, again, it will take you straight to the website to download the app. It's free. You can set up those notifications how you want to be alerted as this system continues to move through middle Georgia. So just looking, continuing to look. Good. Donna, let's see. Madonia, yeah, buy a weather radio. I have two. Alerted me to a tornado 9 miles away. And again, that's how most of these alert systems do. If you're included in that polygon, that's when you have to make sure you're in a safe place. And we'll just reiterate the safe places. A lot of people, it's been a while since we've dealt with severe weather. Small interior room, away from windows, away from doors. You can't live in a manufactured home and go through a tornado. They offer you no protection from severe weather. So do keep that in mind. Great affordable housing, but as far as when it comes to severe weather and especially tornadoes and high winds, they offer you little protection. So you may want to see if a neighbor or a family member has a place for you to go if we get those active watches and warnings tomorrow. Again, a friend with a basement. I know we get below the fall line here in Middle Georgia. A lot of people, the farther south you go, don't have basements, but that's just something to keep in mind. Weather radio, apps, your most cell phones have those WEAs, which are weather emergency alerts, and they will keep you informed and up to date. So again, just watching things carefully as we head through the overnight hours. Tomorrow is a weather warn day. We're going to take this one day at a time. As I was saying, we're likely going to be dealing with another round of strong storms on Friday. Do keep that in mind. Friday's event looks to be a Friday afternoon into Friday night event. So that's just something else later this week that we'll have to watch. But we always say take one event at a time. Again, radar getting active, atmosphere is really starting to saturate. That's why we're seeing an increasing rain across much of Middle Georgia. And it's a steady, and it's a cold rain. Temperatures, when I went in on my dinner break, it's cold outside. Still needed a jacket. And again, if you look, there's a few lightning bolts mixing in. Don't be surprised if we're hearing those rumbles of thunder tonight. And don't be surprised if we get an isolated severe thunderstorm warning. Sometimes you get those with a warm front lifting north. It's an elevated thunderstorm, which means it's not tapped into the surface instability. There's instability in the atmosphere that it's tapping into. And a lot of times those produce hail. And again, can produce maybe quarter-size hail. That makes it a severe thunderstorm, and that's why we'll likely see a warning or two overnight. But as far as that tornado and wind threat, that occurs tomorrow morning after most people wake up. Again, I want to show you the winds. We've got a wind advisory in effect for all of Georgia through at least tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and even high wind warnings down towards the coast. These are winds not related to the thunderstorms. This is what we call the pressure gradient winds. You got a low pressure on one side, a high pressure off the east coast. You're squeezing all that wind between these two systems, and that's why we're going to be dealing with these howling winds. First thing tomorrow morning, again, it's likely still going to be raining in the morning in many locations, but notice this is a southeasterly wind. That's going to be a warmer wind coming off the Atlantic as well as coming off the Gulf of Mexico. Winds 39 to 40 miles per hour. That's tropical storm strength. So do keep that in mind. We're going to have tree and power issues across Middle Georgia tomorrow as we're going to be dealing with very gusty winds, and they're going to be lasting. Once they get going tonight, they will continue through the day tomorrow, even after the storms pass. They'll come down some, but tomorrow afternoon, we're still going to be dealing with winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour. But notice, 9 a.m., the storms are coming through. That southerly wind, 40, 45 miles per hour. Again, that's going to be like a tropical storm across Middle Georgia. And then tomorrow afternoon, the winds begin to come down some. And then tomorrow evening, the severe weather threat's over. It'll be turning colder, but we're still going to have gusty winds tomorrow evening and to tomorrow night. And I think that's why we won't deal with so much freezing temperatures by Wednesday morning. It's hard for those temperatures to fall below freezing when you have very gusty winds. So just reiterating, our main concerns are going to be a wind event. Some tornadoes are certainly possible, and flooding. And again, our time frame right now, 7 a.m. to noon. Reminder, school closings. A lot of schools in Middle Georgia have decided to close tomorrow. You can check our website, wgxa.tv. There's a whole article, and it's getting updated. Last I checked, Had not heard anything for Bibb or Houston County. I know a lot of people are anxiously waiting on that. You just got to wait and see. They'll alert you, and of course, we'll have the latest school closings on WGXA tonight at 11, which is a couple of hours away. But again, let us know you got any questions, concerns, comments. We have these events all the time in Middle Georgia. We get through them, and we'll get through this one as well. And again, this is going to be the first of a series of events. Got another system on Friday that will likely bring strong to severe storms, and maybe a system next week that we'll keep an eye on. But again, it's January, you get into February, March, April, and May. That's the core of our severe weather season here in Middle Georgia. So getting things wound up early in the year. I know it's only January 8th, but that's just how it's going to be as we head throughout the next several months. And again, it's an El Nino winter, which means the storm track is farther towards the south, which means it's more active for the deep south. So that's why we're expecting an active winter as far as severe weather, heavy rainfall at times as well. So again, don't know anything. I know a lot of people, your comments are cracking me up about some of the school systems deciding not to close. But again, we don't close the school systems. We just relay the message. That's up to the superintendents and the individual school systems, so do keep that in mind. And again, a lot of school systems in Middle Georgia have closed for tomorrow. The two big ones we have not heard anything from are, of course, Houston County as well as Bibb County, and that's where the core of the population across Middle Georgia is. So we're going to continue to watch that. And again, as soon as we hear anything from the school system, we will let you know. But a few quick reminders. I'm just going to go over a few things. All of Middle Georgia under the threat for severe weather for Tuesday. Many locations are under a level 3 threat. Level 2 threat for areas from Macon off towards the north. But again, you can have just as much severe weather in a level 1 or level 2 threat as you do in level 3 threat. So do keep that in mind. Checking the phone, just making sure what's going on. People are tweeting at me, so you got to answer all these questions. Facebook again. And I'll be checking this, so I will be answering any questions as we head throughout the evening hours. So we are watching things carefully. Going back through. Olivia Allen, I'm with you. I hate weather like this. As a weatherman, I really don't hate it, but I hate it that it's impacting us. I'd rather be out in the plains dealing with this weather than having to do it here. Again, just watching everything very carefully over the next couple of hours. Not much going on as far as severe weather for Middle Georgia right now. And again, we are watching things off towards our west tonight. That's where they're starting to see severe weather across Louisiana, Mississippi, and after midnight, probably getting into southwest Alabama, and then that system will be making its way. And again, this is rain and thunderstorms back towards Jackson. This is where we're seeing that severe weather threat materialize, and we'll be watching storms come off the Gulf of Mexico. Again, going to be a wet night across Middle Georgia. A soaking rain, 2 to 3 inches in some locations. Heavier rainfall off towards the north. And do keep this in mind. We've had a good bit of rain here lately. We had over an inch this past weekend. Heavier rainfall off towards the north. That has to flow south through the river. So the Flint River, the Oconee River, the Ocmulgee River, do keep that in mind. Over the coming days, they will likely be running high across Middle Georgia. So we'll keep an eye on those as well. Just, again, checking things, social media, see what's going on. Again, as the system continues to develop, we'll be watching things carefully tomorrow across much of Middle Georgia. And again, you can always let us know what you're seeing. You can go to our website. We have the chime in if there's any damage in your location. Be sure to report it. Let us know if it's safe. Take some pictures of it. If you got a tree down or anything going on, you can go to our website and email it to the website, and that will let us know what you're seeing at your location. But also that will help us pass that information along to the National Weather Service, who's in charge of issuing all these watches and warnings. Again, going to be a messy night across middle Georgia. Temperatures will continue to climb. Rain will continue to intensify. Winds will continue to intensify. But the main severe weather threat the next few hours, well off towards our west, I would say from about midnight to 5 a.m., it's going to be across the southern portions of Alabama. And then we get to about 5 a.m., that's when the line of storms likely to start to push through middle Georgia. And I will show the future radar one more time for everyone that's just joining us. We'll start off with the winds. They're going to be howling. First thing tomorrow morning, you're waking up, winds 30 to 40 miles per hour. This is going to produce power outages. And again, this is not related to the thunderstorms. This is just those very strong gusty winds as the storm system gets its act together. Do keep that in mind. Maybe some dead trees, you're passing along the road, they may be across the road, so be careful tomorrow morning out and about because the roads will be wet and the winds will be howling. So again, winds 40 miles per hour, tropical storm strength. Then we get to the rainfall and the thunderstorm threat. And again, like I said, over the next few hours, rainfall will continue to intensify. We'll be dealing with thunderstorms here and there. Pre-dawn hours, again, the worst of the weather is going to be off to the west of us. Then about 5 a.m., that line of storm starts to approach, say, the Chattahoochee River, and then that will continue to slide east through the morning hours. 8, 9 o'clock, stretching down along the 75 corridor. It slowly continues to slide off towards the east, or should I say slowly, it's moving fast. And again, along this line, this is where we're going to be dealing with that threat for those damaging wind gusts, as well as a few tornadoes mixed in. And again, hopefully we don't have any severe weather, but these events, there's a lot of moving parts, and I just think we're going to be dealing with some active weather tomorrow morning especially. And hopefully no one has to deal with any damage. But we always say, it only takes one storm to make this a bad day. Let everyone know that we're going to be dealing with severe weather. Make sure you have ways to receive those severe weather alerts. And again, just know that all severe weather types are possible tomorrow. That's why we're going with that weather warn day. Severe storms likely, damaging winds over 60 miles per hour. Some tornadoes will be possible, and heavy rainfall could lead to areas of flooding. Again, turn around, don't drown. I'm going to check social media one more time before I jump off of here. We'll actually get some new model data coming in before the 11 o'clock news tonight. So if you're still up with us, make sure you tune in to WGXA on ABC 16. And of course, we will have the latest on the threat for those strong storms. And again, we'll be keeping things again. Again, everybody's asking, what about Bibb County? What about Houston County? Those are the two systems we have not heard anything from. Again, check WGXA.tv. We've got a whole post about all the school closings. A lot of schools are closed tomorrow. Some are doing virtual learning. I went over that list earlier, but you can just go to WGXA.tv. You'll notice the school closing post and see if your school's on there. And if you don't see your school and you know your school's going to be closed or it's going to be open tomorrow, hey, send our newsroom an email and let us know that. And of course, we'll be keeping things updated. So again, everybody's asking Bibb and Houston County, no word yet as far as school. So do keep that in mind. We will have the latest on all the weather and as well as school closings as we head through tonight, especially the 11 o'clock news. So do keep that in mind. We will try to stay up to date on all the school closings, but we're going to keep up the next, as far as daycares and stuff, that's on, there'll be a list of that too. So again, you know how things go this time of year. Schools close, that makes a lot of headache for a lot of parents, but also a lot of businesses may be closed tomorrow as we're going to be dealing with this severe weather threat working its way through middle Georgia. Again, we will be here tonight as well as through the event tomorrow. Myself, Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett, along with Gary Thickpen and Meteorologist Ryan Miranda will have all the latest information. I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes. And again, if you need to download the WGXA SKYWATCH weather app, it's simple. Scan that QR code, downloads for free, has those great push notifications. Are we going to have warnings tomorrow? Can't answer that. Are we going to have a watch tomorrow? I'll say yes. I think we will have a tornado watch issued for Middle Georgia tomorrow. Tornado watch means conditions are favorable for tornadoes. And again, we may have one tornado warning tomorrow. We may not have any, but we're going to be dealing with very windy conditions and very active weather. So again, this will be the first of many severe weather events we deal with this spring. So this is just a good time to get ready and get informed and ready for all this active weather. Just checking comments one last time. Loving the comments, everyone. And again, if you know something we don't know, please let us know. Lots of moving parts right now, and I know it's 9:20. Things will continue to update. Again, like I said, we'll have new model data coming in before the 11 o'clock newscast. We'll have the latest school closings on the 11 o'clock newscast. So make sure you join Greg Lloyd and myself on WGXA on ABC 16 tonight at 11. Again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett. Let us know what you're seeing and what's going on at your location as the storms come through tomorrow. And of course, if we do get watches and warnings, we will be live streaming here on social media. If we get a tornado warning, of course, we will break into programming tomorrow and go wall to wall to keep you informed and up to date. Again, you can be a hero as well, letting everyone know that we do have the threat for severe weather tomorrow, just to make sure everyone stays weather aware as we head through really the next 12 to 18 hours, and especially tomorrow morning from 7 a.m. Again, we'll keep an eye on your comments and answer any questions you may have. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Stinnett.